far away. All right. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to make an old-fashioned. The old-fashioned cocktail. The name comes from cocktail. Originally, what cocktail meant, you walked into a bar and said, I want a cocktail. It was spirit of any kind, sugar, bitters, and waters. So you could have like whiskey old-fashioned, obviously, rum old-fashioned. Even there, at the time, there was a lot of Dutch gin coming in, which is half gin, half whiskey. So you walk in and say, I'd like a cocktail, you name your spirit, the bartender would make it. Bartenders, as we are wont to do, we start messing with stuff. And so we improve it by putting a little curacao in it. Or we make it fancy with a little absinthe. So the curmudgeonly old guy who drinking his cocktail all the time just says, no, 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 I want the old-fashioned cocktail, the original one. And eventually, over time, the cocktail dropped off and it's down to the old-fashioned. This is the original cocktail. Again, spirit of any kind, bitters, and sugar. I like to use like a brown sugar with a lot more molasses in it, like turbinado, which is sugar in the raw from Hawaii, but you can even use like baker's sugar, baker's brown sugar. It will give it a depth and a richness, which is really, you really want that in this particular cocktail. So that was just a little bit of the sugar syrup, and then I'm going to hit it with 1.5 ounces of the rum. And this rum is really incredibly complex, as we just noticed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use 3 different bitters. I'm going to use Peychaud bitters. This is made in New Orleans, originally by a Haitian pharmacist. The big notes in this are soft anise, vanilla, and cherry stone. We're going to have a little orange bitters. Orange bitters taste like orange. And then Angostura bitters. Angostura bitters, it's the largest alcoholic, the alcoholic product that sells more than anything else in the entire world. And bitters originally were medicine, but they are botanicals suspended in neutral grain alcohol. And wow, that's really loud. So, as I said, Peychaud bitters were made by a pharmacist, and Angostura bitters were originally made by a surgeon, and he was down in Venezuela fighting Batista, right? And in the late 1800s, and all the troops were getting really, really sick because of the water and the heat and such. And so he studied the history of basically botanicals and herbs and how they were used medicinally. So he made this compound called Angostura bitters, and that's what you would put it in your water or whatever and drink it, and it would keep away malaria specifically and any sort of tummy problems. And eventually, soldiers figured out that if you put the bitters in the booze, it makes both of them taste better. So, the old-fashioned, three actual ingredients, if we don't count, the most important ingredient in all cocktails. You notice when I both talked about punch and the old-fashioned cocktail, I mentioned water. Water content and controlling water content is truly the most important part of the cocktail, because it also has to do with balance. Why don't we pass these out?